Hello, it's me again, unfortunately. John Stewart should be. Sorry about this. Steve, I better take this. Give me a sec. Alright, dude, what's happening? What do you mean, who's this? You phone me, you fucking moron. What's up? What do you mean? What problem? Oh, dude. How can you do this again? Mate, I've told you. Your vendetta's not meant to go there. It doesn't matter if you take the wings off, it's not meant to go up there. Oh, mate. Right. I'll come round in a bit. I'm just in the middle of something. I'll finish this up and come round. Alright, dude. See you in a bit. Fucking idiot. As I was saying, John Stewart's videos should be with us soon. But in the meantime, I thought I would put together something else, nice and amateurish for your viewing pleasure. It's a little bit of the behind the scenes of the 40k Global podcast. It's pretty much just me and Dave sitting on a couch talking about the recent tournament that we're going to, Battlefield Birmingham. The full tournament report will be in the next podcast episode out on Monday. And this is just pretty much the preempt for it. But the other reason behind it, as well as showing you a bit of behind the scenes so we can offend you both audibly and visually, is because it was recently mentioned on a podcast that I ate 5 Big Macs because Fat Franco's a coming. He's a coming back. And one of the listeners would want to see evidence of me eating these Big Macs. And if I was produced a video of me eating the Big Macs, then I would get a donation. We would get a donation for the podcast. So that's the idea behind the video. So if you are similarly impressed or disgusted, we'll take either, by me eating 5 Big Macs, if I'd managed to get through the challenge, then feel free to donate to the video. You can donate via the website, via PayPal, or you can just send us stuff in the post. We prefer cash, but we'll take anything really. It's nice to get presents. So this is the video of the first part of the upcoming tournament and me being a disgusting pig. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the tournament report. This is a new formatted tournament report in that it is in video format for those that are on YouTube, and for our audio listeners right now, it's just the same for you. I am joined by Frankie the Speedy Marufo. Hello, sir.
All right.
Now, Frankie, normally we would have a tournament report just completely audio.
Yeah.
Why is it that I'm sat in front of this camera at late notice?
Well, there's 2 reasons behind it. One is I like offending people, and the best way to do that I found is with my face. And you obviously add to that, so
Thank you.
You're welcome. And the other one is because one of our listeners has requested that he sees me eating 5 Big Macs. We mentioned it apparently on a podcast that I ate 5 Big Macs because obviously I'm becoming Fat Franco.
Fat Franco, can you just show Fat Franco to the...
Well, Fat Franco's here, and this is my 5 Big Macs. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do the normal kind of tournament report. And during the course of the tournament report, there's going to be some eating sounds on this, obviously, because I'm eating Big Macs.
Brilliant, that's audio.
But if you want a visual treat, then you can go on YouTube and you can actually see us doing the sort of initial bit of the tournament report.
So a part of our sort of marketing for people to come and watch more videos is them to see you scoff 5 Big Macs down.
Mate, it's very entertaining, apparently. So we're going to get a donation. Who's it that's going to give us a donation if I manage to eat these 5 Big Macs?
Oh, I don't know. Have you?
Joe Nardo or something? Oh, that's Benjamin. Good.
Is that actually going off? Oh no,
It is actually going off, mate.
Can you all hear that?
And we can all hear this.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God. There's not supposed to be any ringing phones on this show, mate.
I've stopped it.
Good.
There we go.
I know. We'll see that. We see that, mate. Right.
Who is it? Who's it that's giving us money?
Joe Nardo.
Joe
He's
Nardo.
going to give us a donation if he can see proof of Fat Franco.
Can I do a bit of math on this first up?
Do some math on
Well,
it.
is he paying for the Big Macs as well? Because you make a loss on this. What if he only gives £5?
Well, he does, then I lose £15.
How much is one Big Mac?
It's like £3 or something.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15 quid.
Yeah.
So he has got to put a minimum of 15 in,
It
does he?
seems that else he's not even paid for my meal.
I don't think economically this is a very good idea, is it?
I don't know if it's a good idea on a number of levels. I mean, you can talk about the amount of calories I'm about to smash here as well, which is something like 2,500.
There's more than that, buddy. That's wishful thinking. 25. They have
But mate, don't worry about it. I've got a Diet Coke, so.
Listeners, now when you come back with some complaints, make sure these complaints go to Franco because this is not all my
I'm getting
idea.
hungry, so I'm just going to
Go on then, begin. Let's see how nice this looks. There used to be a great little advert where a little kid used to take a bite and make me want to eat a Big Mac, but I'm all right now.
Really?
By the way, did you get me one?
No.
So just 5 for yourself.
Yeah.
Good. Napkin?
No.
No. Okay. Good. Well,
I got my shot.
So why? This isn't just going to be you eating Big Macs. So we're going to go through some tournament reports, right?
A video of me eating Big Macs wouldn't be as very entertaining, probably. So we're going to go over talk about the tournament, Battlefield Birmingham that we're going to.
Okay.
Talk about our lists and talk about what we expect.
All right.
So it's going to be the normal kind of thing that we talk about for a tournament, except you can now go on YouTube and actually see us while we're doing it.
So there's 2 things there. So for anybody that is listening, this part is going to go out on the podcast, so you're going to have it anyway. But if you want to see this in video format,
you know that because they're listening.
I don't care what you think. But anybody that is watching this in the video, the full report is obviously going to be going out. I think it'll probably be episode 97, which is the Battlefield Birmingham. So we're going to Battlefield Birmingham. 4. We're going to Battlefield Birmingham 4. It's kind of established. I think it must be a couple of years. We'll get an interview with Harry either way. Harry Allen, who runs the tournament. And I think, am I right or am I wrong in that it has now become one of the most popular tournaments because this is a 60-man event.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's established as a kind of laid back, fun tournament, and it's based in the sort of Midlands, which seems to be a good area to base a tournament in because obviously it's mid, it's close to everything, so it's easy for folks to get there, and we tend to get quite a good attendance, I think, as a result of that. As a result of the quality of the tournament and the sort of the location of it.
Yeah. You smashed that one, didn't you?
That's number 1.
You're going to be slowing down. I've seen Man v Food, buddy. This ain't going to go very well for you.
Well, the thing is, man,
should be an 18 certificate on this. It's horrible.
The thing is, there's another reason behind why I did this, and it's because my girlfriend actually says that Fat Franco's kind of a bit offensive.
I imagine so.
And that she's not particularly comfortable with me sort of gaining weight as I have been in the last couple of months or so. But I don't do what my girlfriend says. I mean, fuck her. I'm in charge. I'm in charge of this relationship. So I'm gonna smash these 5 Big Macs. Then I'm gonna go and
do as you please.
Exactly.
So most girls are like, let's see how they're like. Hey, look, I don't like the way you've been flirting with those other girls. I don't like the way you've been looking at others. So she's like, I don't like the way you've been eating Big Macs.
Yeah.
Oh, horrible, isn't you?
I think you sneak off to Burger King and have a wee affair on the sides with Mr. Whopper.
Okay, right. So let's go through Battlefield Birmingham. So essentially, what we're looking at is a 1,500 point list, right? Tournament.
That's right.
Which we don't normally see. Haven't seen these. I mean, Throne of Skulls, does that do 1,500?
Throne of Skulls is the only one. Yeah, it does 1,500. Yeah.
And that continues the trend of a lot of different tournaments having different stuff. So you've got a different points level. So you've got like the GT, which I went to last weekend before. This is horrible. I can't believe there's going to be many viewers. Any audio listeners that they're thinking to themselves, I might have to check out that video. Don't. Just leave the whole thing. It's just disgusting. No napkins, it's all in your beard. It's just disgusting. It's horrible. I can't believe I've come around here for this shit. So this is 1,500. That was 1,650. What was it? A Death of Glory was 1850.
1850.
We're going to an Oktoberfest.
1750.
So they're all different across the board. Now the thing that's weird about this was that you've got 1,500, but it's 2.5 hours a game with 5 games. Well, a real cool thing that I thought that Harry's done, which I'm going to ask him about at some point over the weekend, is that the last game, so the 5th game, is 3 hours. So he's upped the time limit by half an hour. That's not a bad idea, is it?
He's very easy going, Harry. So he doesn't mind so much if you run over, as long as he can get the results to him in time for the next round. So if it's lunchtime, he'll let you play until lunch. You don't really care.
Yeah.
If it's the end of day 1, he'll let you play as long as you want. Really, you don't really care. He'd rather finish the game and get an actual result in than not finish your game and it might as well not played sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think we'd much rather that than. I mean, look, let's just not go into it again. But whatever that stuff is that happened at the GT Heat 1 where Josh and Paul only got to turn 2. What we've got here is at 1,500 points, you shouldn't really have anybody over the weekend that is unable to finish their game legit. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that. And it's another one of those 5-game ones. Like, I'll be honest with you, by the time the GT had finished, which was 2 weeks ago, remember that was 1650 2.5-hour games. It was in Cardiff. It was 3 hours to get back. I wasn't back till 11. What people don't realise, I was fucking editing the podcast. Are we swearing on this YouTube channel, by the way? Am I?
Yeah, sorry. There's a lot of swearing on YouTube, mate. Just no nudity, so don't get your nuts out. So that's the only thing that's changed about this, because normally we'd just sit there with his nuts out, but not this time.
What pisses me off most about YouTube is that shit where you have to sign in because you have to be over 18. I don't know any of my passwords. It really pisses me off.
You watched a lot of stuff that you need to be over 18 for.
Yeah. Now, the next thing that I thought it might be not a bad one to touch on is some of the people that are going, because I've had a little look down the entrance list. I'm going to have a little look now, but down this entrance list, like first off, there's 60 players, and you know that 20 of them are
horrible.
Well, yeah, let's be honest, they're horrible. They're top tournament players. They're the kind of guys that if you are going to run into these guys, then you know that you're going to have a very difficult game.
Yeah, I mean, thinking though, there's a variety of there's some flavours to that. I mean, because you'll get like folks like Dan Sackett, who'll be using the same list that he's been using for a while. You'll know the list inside out. You'll know what it does, but he knows it so well himself. He plays it so well that you're going to have a very difficult time with it, no matter what you're playing. You'll always have a difficult time with Dan. You have folks like Gareth Donnelly, who shows up with something different every time, but he's got a good imagination and he's a good player. So like, it doesn't matter what he shows up with, you know it's going to be horrible. And you're going to have a hard time with it regardless. Yeah. You know, you've got folks like Andy Humphries, who's coming off the ETC. He's picked up Tau recently, and will consistently get better and better with that Tau army. You know, because obviously Tau are still the sort of the most powerful decks, arguably right now. You know. So it doesn't matter who you come across and what flavour of nastiness to hit you with. It's going to be nasty. You know, but it's all kinds of flavours of it. Yeah.
So that's the 20. And we know that they're going to be competing. But one of the things that I think is quite good here is that there's another 40 people that you don't recognise. But and the reason I think that's worth pointing out now is that kind of since 6th dropped, you would look down at first off the tournaments are smaller, and you'd look down the list and probably know 2/3 of it. So the tournaments, if anything, become harder because it's all tournament gamers in there But there was no new breed, no new people coming into the tournament scene. But I've looked at this and I'm thinking, well, this is now 2/3 of the field that you are. For audio listeners, he's gone through 3. Do not laugh and spit that on me. Do not laugh and spit that on me. Look at your hands, like a fucking Neanderthal. What's wrong with you? You got no napkin, and they're not giving napkins at McDonald's. Mate. It's in your hair. It's matted your hair.
Mate. My girlfriend see me just now. I'd be single very quickly.
I agree. She should be.
I mean, let she fucking take it because I'm the fucking king of this house.
We both know that ain't the case.
Of course it is.
Now look, let's continue. So, and I think that's important now for the tournament scene. There is also, on the same time this weekend, there's going to be 2 other tournaments taking place. There's the GT, and there's another one called Star Smash. That's an old favourite.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, down south. That's right. I went to Star Smash.
I don't know where the fuck it is, but yeah.
One of the very first tournaments I went to, like back in the 40k, I went to Star Smash.
Isn't that when you were living in Glasgow?
Yeah.
Did you get a flight to London, hire a car, hire the car to get to Star Smash?
Yeah.
Fuck that. So, I mean, is the 40k tournament scene starting to have a bit of a revival? Because that's 3 big tournaments. That's not just you've got like a big tournament and then you've got a couple of littlies on the day. That is 3 tournaments. Now, albeit not all have sold out quickly, but they have all sort of got there in the end.
Well, it's sort of unusual that you see have 3 big tournaments on the one weekend, but what you remember is that 2 of the tournaments are sort of established. They always pretty much happen around about that time. And the 3rd one is, this is about the 2nd year, so going the GT is the 2nd year.
You've just spat on my hand. Look at that.
I mean, just lick off.
Fuck that. What's this? Oh, fucking hell.
You're alright, mate. It's just special sauce.
Look that way when you look at the camera, aren't you? We're not going to be looking at the camera. Anyone
Mate,
that's
I don't want to
to
spit over any of the valuable shit. I just spit over you.
Come on then.
Aye, so it's significant that you've got 3 tournaments and that they're all being well attended. Because I mean, when was the last time you were at a big tournament? You know that everything that you knew was just going to be well attended. Like they have been well attended tournaments recently, but you never knew it until you really turned up how many people were going to be there. It
was the GT, wasn't it?
I mean, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I think that was the one that sold out quickly.
Yeah.
And then Heat 2 and Heat 3 didn't even sell out quickly. You know, they did eventually, but not even quickly. You know, so it's interesting that you're managing to fill that many people in a tough tournament. You know?
Well, I hope it's going to grow. I can't remember what Harry was saying he wants to do after this one, but I'll have a chat with him on the weekend and see, because I think he wants to grow. Definitely as an event in some way, but we'll sort of see what he says. The other big one is that this is the first tournament, or these 3 tournaments, the GT, which BJ actually will be reporting on in the next couple of weeks himself. One of our 40k champions, Tom Layton's gone with him. Anybody else from the podcast on there? I don't even know what the entrance list is there. Anyway, they'll be reporting from there. So you've got three tournaments in one weekend, but all of these tournaments are going to have new Marines out.
Yeah. That's the other big thing. Yeah. It's the rollout for the new Marines. Yeah.
And that could change everything. Because the issue now is that we don't. I mean, everyone's talking about the Khan list. I played Khan midweek against John Holland. Nasty. You know, real nasty.
Yeah.
The scout forward and then blitz you is very, very nasty. Khan's nasty. Hit and run is bad.
Yeah.
The grab guns are going to be in and hit, but there's other ways that you can get these grab guns in. Drop podding grab guns in there. The Centurions, they're not bad. I mean, people are saying that people are not going to use them, but I think, well, maybe they are going to use them.
Well, I think the problem with Centurions is that they lack maneuverability. So if someone is imaginative enough to get around that problem, then there's no problem with Centurions anymore. You know, that's the problem with them. Is the bikes have got maneuverability. They've both got the same threat range, and they've both got a 30-inch threat range. Because the grab guns on the bikes are 18 inches, but they move 12, obviously. The Centurions, it's 24, and they move 6. So both got a 30-inch threat range.
Yeah.
But if the Centurions are at one end of the table, if they need to quickly get to the other end, it just ain't going to happen.
Well, imagine it in hammer and anvil.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. But if someone gets round that, then they're in the game.
Yeah. But what I'm interested in seeing is that have you smashed 4 here? How are you feeling?
All right.
How are you feeling, all right?
Yeah.
You've got blood pressure. You've got these sweats going on at the moment.
Are we bit?
Fat sweats.
A wee bit.
Let's continue. So, what I'm interested to see is that Marines are going to be in their new format, but they're kind of at the evolution that Tau was when Tau first came out. So what everyone did was they just went straight to what everyone was talking about, right? So, we just fucking fired. Because it rippled this whole fucking sofa.
Mate, it's going to smell just like Big Mac.
Dude, normally I would pause this now and it'd end. Can we pause any of this shit?
Nah, I can't pause it, mate. Don't know how.
Can you edit stuff together?
Nah, I don't know how, mate. Don't know how. Go on, continue.
I might just end this. And that's just it.
You'll be alright.
If I sit over there, can people still hear the audio?
Nah, you need to sit there, mate. Right there.
Horrible. No, horrible. Am I still in the screenshot if I go all over it? Fuck that. Right. Anyway, before I was fucking interrupted, so you know when they first came out, okay, the traditional is the unimaginative Tau player, this is how I like to call them, had the 9 broadsides.
What?
I'm just gonna go with it. We'll see what you have later, but we're just the unimaginative Tau player had 9 broadsides right at the beginning. But right at the beginning, that's where they went. They went straight for the. Don't worry about it. I'm going with a point. Don't worry about it. They went straight to 9 broadsides. But what they did was they went straight to the net list. They went for the Dakar, right? And that's where I think where Marines may well be at this weekend, because we may not see the proper evolution of Marines for a couple of months, maybe even. But it could be a game changer.
They'll go to some of the obvious stars for the Codex.
Yeah.
First of all, and then spam that shit.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Also, as good as allies. I'm expecting that some people had Thunderfire cannons, so I'm expecting to see Thunderfire cannons this weekend, but probably not 3. I don't think people had 3.
No, I don't think so. No. I mean, they are very good, but I reckon there's too many toys in the Space Marine decks to think, and especially in the heavy support section to want to put 3 in there. You know, so. I reckon it's good even just to take one because they are very powerful. They are very good at killing Gribblies. But they'll struggle against things in armour. They'll struggle against obviously they can't do anything with vehicles. So
Yeah.
it's almost a bit superfluous to take more than that.
Yeah, and it's going to be in like that midway ground in that you're going to have some guys that just haven't had enough, so they don't even know what they're responding to because they don't even really know how Marines are going to be. So you just carry on with the same army that you've got. But the other difficulty that you're going to have is that you're not going to have had enough time to. You are horrible. Not going to have had enough time to paint up stuff, get new stuff, unless you're nicking it off a mate.
Yeah, so you've got an airbrush.
Are we there? Are we? How far off are we? That's half a burger. You should smash it. It's not even a challenge. That dude should have said 10 burgers. Just fucking smash it. No wonder you are a fat fuck, aren't you? Do you know that's like 4,000 calories you're knocking down there?
No, that's
not. It is. It's 4,000 calories.
Of course it's not. I'm not selling them.
I would have thought 11 stone. You must be more than 11 stone these days, surely.
13.
13 stone. Anyway, now.
I was 11 when my girlfriend met me.
Yeah, of course you were. That's it. Before you went out to seed. Right, I want to just go through some of the players and some of the predictions that we have for what they'll be taking.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was interesting was that the GT finale, so that's the Warlords GT.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Eldar spam with the Sky Shield that won everything. And then at the actual GT heat that I went to, it was Death Star spam that won everything.
Yeah.
Now, I was thinking, is the main difference the difference in the ruling of the Sky Shield? It was a 4-up invul, 3-up cover, and then the Universal Special Rule did not work on the Sky Shield, which is why is that how much more powerful they can be, which is then why because they didn't have that rule at the Heat GT,
yeah,
that the Death Stars came through.
Well, I mean, obviously, having a Sky Shield, having the ability to give most of your army a 3-up stroke 2-up cover save if you get a plus to cover save with your vehicle upgrades and having that cover save regardless of what shoots at you, even if it's got ignore cover. Well, that's golden. You know, that's not just game changing. That is meta changing. Like that is the single most powerful army in the game, really, because it's got the firepower from sitting on that Sky Shield. Excuse me, and the range to kill most armies off the bat. You know.
Yeah.
It's got the line of sight because it's all raised.
Yeah.
And it's got the durability because it's protected on the Sky Shield, as well as having like a couple of Wraith Knights sitting back so that you can't even really run up and assault it because the Wraith Knights will just go right. Let's sit here all day. You know, they're just jumping forward in front of it and then get you an assault and sit there all day. So that army was without a doubt the most powerful army in the game at the point where that ruling stood. You know, and when it went away, then yeah, obviously, I mean that is still a powerful army. Don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like it's powerful.
But I wondered whether it's that army, that Eldar nastiness army, can actually win. You've got to swallow that before you actually get through this. Can actually win 6 games complete. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the issue with it. Can it win 6 games? Because it could fall down on one game if it gets the wrong matchup. If it hasn't got the ruling of the old Sky Shield ruling.
If it doesn't have that.
Yeah. You done?
That's 5.
What was the guy's name that's
Joe
giving us this money?
Something like that.
Well, Joe, that's the easiest money you've ever made, isn't it, Franco? Or lost if he's only giving you a tenner.
It's the bonus round.
Oh, the fat bastard. Do you know we play Warhammer? You know there's dudes out there that are so big that they're just looking at you thinking, this is pussy. I ate 20 of them.
I need a little bit of Diet Coke first.
Is it even diet?
Yeah, of course it is, dude. I'm conscious about my weight.
Fat fuck.
Right. If I can do 6, then I get bonus points.
What? Well, wait, bonus money in it.
No, let's hope.
Extra £3. Who is it again?
Joe.
Joe. Right.
You can donate by going on the website, by the way, and clicking the donate button that I'm sure BJ set up. So go for that.
I thought you set that up.
I set up the PayPal.
You took credit for that yesterday.
I set up PayPal. BJ set up the donate button.
All right. What are we talking about?
Joe and Albert.
Right, 6. I want to go through some of these lists now.
Right.
Yeah. So what is your prediction now for the weekend? What are we going to see? Because are we going to see Death Stars, or are we going to see spam, or are we going to see a variety? What are we going to see?
Well, I mean, I think it's super exciting because there's going to be a number of things that will change from the last couple of tournaments I've been to.
Yeah.
One, the big one, is Space Marines.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make an impact, and we're not really sure what impact they're going to make.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself, that's really exciting. Two, this is less exciting. We're going to see more Screamers. You know, we are, because it's such a good list. People are really catching on to it now, and you're not going to be the only guy in the room.
Shit.
That's got it.
It's going to be advertised, and it's been advertised widely now. Ever since the Spanish guy brought it out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, people know about it now. You know what I mean? I think, not that list, and not that army, but that one rule of having a unit that's got a 2-up rerollable and vulnerable save, I think is the single most broken thing in the game. Not that list and not that army, but that one rule, I think, is the single most. If you were going to pick anything in the game,
there's a few things in the tower list I wouldn't mind.
Well, there is individually. There's some stuff in the tower list that obviously is really. You know, when you put it all together, then it becomes the most powerful army in the game, arguably. You know, and you wouldn't say that about the Streamer Council because it has some bad matchups and it has some issues here and there. It can only kill like so many things and stuff. But that one rule of having a 2-up rerollable and vulnerable save, I think that one aspect is sort of the most broken, the most sort of horrific. Where like if you went to the game designers and says, you know, I got a 2-up rerollable and vulnerable save, I think that's the one thing you go, what? You know, they wouldn't be going. What broadsides get 36.
I've met some of these game designers. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't.
Yeah. well, like if you talk to them about broadsides and says, you know, you realise that they get 24 strength 7 shots and 12 strength 5 shots, they go, yeah, that's what we gave them. You know, and you realise they get all that for 280 odd points, and they go, yeah, I mean that's what we gave them, right? And they go, yeah, I mean that's quite powerful, but I don't think you'd ever go to a game designer and go, do you know that I can get a 2-up rerollable and vulnerable save? And they go, yep.
Dude, I honestly believe this. I think they don't give a shit. I don't think, and not that they don't give a shit about the game.
No,
I think
they just don't
care. You know,
right.
It's such a small proportion in terms of tournament games.
That's right.
They are not.
I don't think they've seen it coming. I think that the big thing is they just didn't see that coming. You know, that's. I think that's.
But there's so much of it. I was speaking to a guy and he was telling me that in fantasy now they comp all the tournaments. Now I don't like the idea of that. I like all this brutal shit. I mean, we were saying the other day. I asked you when we were talking about what was it, Bastions. I said to you, hey, how many models can you stick in a Bastion? Thinking to myself, could I stick my Screamer also in a Bastion? Now the thing is, they comp the tournaments in fantasy because what they've realised is that the games designers are never going to get it right.
No, because they're not playing for balance.
And
they're not designing it for balance.
They're playing it for narrative.
Yeah, that's it. It's part of the story.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I think someone asked, I think it is Mark, what's his face? The Grey Knights Codex.
Ward. I don't know these people. Who's that? He's like
Matt Ward.
Developer,
Matt Ward. So he was the sort of lead writer on the Grey Knights Codex.
Yeah.
And he also did the Demons Codex for fantasy, which everybody thought was just the most broken codex there's ever been for fantasy. So I think just ridiculous. And when someone asked him, like, you know, why did you make the Demons Codex so obviously so powerful compared to the other codexes? And he says, well, and I mean, in my mind, demons are just more powerful than all the other guys.
True, I like that. I like this guy.
So that's.
Did you do the demon book as well?
Not the use one. I don't think so.
Shit.
But like, I'm not sure. But like, the point is they're not designing it for balance. They're designing it, like you say, from a narrative point of view. And if they think that demons should be the most powerful, then they'll give them a 2-up rerollable vulnerable save because they just are. You know, and they should just beat everybody all the time, and that's that. So, like you say, in fantasy, they comp it because they've realised that it's maybe not the way it's supposed to be. You know?
Well, but by not comping it, I think in current state, it just literally means that there are some models that some people have got that's not going to be using. That's legit what it means.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Or you can use it, but you're not going to win every game. That's the deal. Now, what I'm wondering though with the Screamer Council is because I think the Screamer Council they are difficult to use. Is the payoff the i.e. that you do get your 2-up with a reroll, but if you don't get Grimoire off, Fatey gets killed, you do your reroll or whatever it is, Fatey gets killed, and you haven't got it now, and you lose it, and now you're down to a 5-up, possibly a 6-up with vulnerable save. Is that the trade-off, and is that a fair trade-off?
Yeah, kinda. It is something that will happen to streamers. It will happen, you know, even with Fatey, it will happen. Once every 9 rolls. If you assume that you play an average of 6 turns a game, that's twice every 3 games where you're going to lose that save. And I mean, if you lose the save and you lose the council, it's almost like you've lost the game as a Screamer Council player. And I think that's what balances out the army. You know, I think that's what balances out the army overall is that if you lose your council, if you do it early, like you've almost lost the game. You know, it's almost like you can come back somehow with some bits and pieces. You can do wee tricks and bits, but your the main power of your army is that one unit. You know, and it is very powerful. It is usually quite reliable, but it's not 100% reliable. So that's why I would say the Screamer Council army is not the most powerful army in the game, but it's obviously certainly up there. But I'd still say that the 2-up rerollable and vulnerable save is the one sort of
in itself.
If
you get it off,
take it in isolation. Take it in isolation. It's the one thing where you just think that's surely the most powerful thing in the game.
It was an interesting point someone said once. They said about the fact that it has to be that in order to be able to cope with Tau.
That's
so it
right.
has to be something that's
right.
broken in order to keep up with Tau.
That's right.
Now I know for a fact that this weekend there are 3 Screamer Councils, definite.
Right.
Because I know that Mark Pocock's going, who we've had on the show a couple of times, and I know he's into Screamer Star. And in fact, we're going to start a little. You had Tau High Council. We're going to start something.
Oh really?
I haven't thought about the name yet, but it's going to be me and him.
It's going to be you and him then.
At the moment. But also I know Adam Ryan's going. Now we know Adam Ryan's the best demon player in the country.
Right.
So right now he's probably busy painting up because he hasn't got this the models. But I know that he's taking the makeup lids off of his wife so that they can be discs, and he's blue tacking a horror on top. That's what he's doing. He's going for best painted. So that's 3 guys, and so first off, that's 3 guys, and one of those guys is a member of the Welsh ETC team, and not only that, I mean that's a dude that's won tournaments and knows what the fuck he's doing with demons. So that is 3 Screamer Councils in a 60-person tournament. What is that? 5%? 4%? What? It's 5%.
Yeah, 5%. Yeah, 5%. Yeah. And and I think it's only going to go up. That figure's only going to go up because I think what you only see with the Screamer Council is that they are consistently successful. You know, they might have that odd game where they sort of just get blown away, which maybe keeps them at the top spot, but they'll be consistently successful, like in the top 10, in the top 5 even, consistently.
And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to start to figure out how to play Screamer on Screamer if you've got guys, or
That's it.
What are you going to do? But it's not just how to play the Screamer Council, it's how to play them and in what missions.
Yeah.
Because there's certain missions where it just cannot happen. Like Rob Mady said to me at the GT, said any other mission, and this is a game, but in kill points, I know he's on the back foot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. I know I've kind of half got him as it is. Right. Let's have a little look now at.
I think I might. I'm a bit struggling there.
Are you really?
I don't know if I can finish number 6.
Are you done?
I don't know. I'm
You
having trouble.
rushed, my friend. That's what it is.
Maybe.
I've seen that on Man v Food, that big fat dude. Do you know he's thin as fuck now?
No doubt.
Because he's
finished me like this every week. Jesus. Right. I don't know if I'm gonna. Okay. All right. I think we might leave.
It sounds like you're getting emotional.
I know it's difficult to admit defeat sometimes.
Are you leaving it?
We're giving
That's
it a break.
£3 you're not going to see then,
Maybe
because
give
that
it a break.
dude doesn't have to pay for that, does he?
Giving it a
It's
break.
£1.50 then. Right, let's have a look at some of these other lists. So now the problem is that we don't really know what people are taking. However, we do know some of the people that are going, and we know what they've been taking. So what I want to do is I want to go through some of the guys that we know who they are. Maybe they've been on the show, and we've got a pretty good idea of what they are going to be taking because they haven't published the list like before.
Yeah.
So the first one is Andrew Humphreys. He's on the England forum, so I know what he's taking.
Yeah, because you played it.
I've played it, and also he published it. The England forum.
Really? Yeah. Good.
So pretty much what he's taking is the same list that he took at Death or Glory, which is based on Alex Harrison's Nova list.
Right.
That he took to Nova. So,
right. So is it 2 with Farsight Enclave?
Yeah.
Right.
So he's going to have to drop it down. So he's going to have sort of 2 Riptides. He's going to have a shitload of crew that'll be really knocking out. So one Riptide will be from Farsight, the other not. There'll be some kind of crisis suit team in there, but not. He has a 3 with the drones. I think it might be 2 with drones, maybe because he's having to
knock it down.
reduce a little bit. Ethereal,
You
big
still have the broadsides.
Yeah, big unit of broadsides that'll be in there. Now I think he has 3 Sky Rays. No, he has 2 Sky
2 Sky
Rays.
Rays normally.
But I think he's probably going to be going 1 Sky Ray here.
I think.
I don't know.
Because normally would he not normally go 2 broadsides, 2 Sky Rays?
Well, he would at 1850,
Yeah,
but
but I think you drop the broadsides. Is what it's going to happen.
I think he's got them. I think he's got broadsides.
He's got two broadsides, two sets of broadsides.
No, what he's only got 1 unit of broadsides.
Right. Okay. So because normally at 1850s get 2 units of broadsides, he drops 1 unit.
No. Normally at 1850 he has 1 unit of broadsides, 2 sky rays, and then he has the sniper dome team.
That's it.
At 1850.
That's the one. Yeah.
To get the whatever what's it called when you get the 6s? It's not snapshot, a good shot.
Precision shot.
Precision shot, right?
Yeah,
so
to
he
try
hits
and
it,
kill the kills again. Yeah.
And so when he gets that, like if he hits that, he's looking normally to try and take out people. That's one of his answers to Screamer Council, in fact. But I know he's not taking it, so that's obviously one. The other one is that Dan Sackett has got a bunch of stuff that he'll be taking from the Aldar stuff. So he'll have a beast pack.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how many Wraith Lords he's. How many Wraith Lords is he normally?
He's normally got two Wraith Knights. I don't know if he'll fit it in at 1500s.
I say not. I can't play him at 1500.
He's got 2 Wraith Knights.
If he's got 1 Wraith Knight, well, I can play if he. Because the thing is that he's going to have the Beast Pack Bomb, and again, Dan Sackett would have been on this tournament, so if you just type in his name into the website, you'll be able to find his list, and we may well speak to him over the weekend. But at 1851, he's got a big bomb, 4 units of jet bikes, 2 Wraith Knights that are going on. If he gets Fortune, like the Screamer Council can't deal with him. Nobody
because
can really
the rest of
deal with
your army can't beat the rest of his army.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
But Paul Burke said at the GT, and he was using the bomb at the time. He was saying, look, it's proper fortune reliant. So if you lose fortune, you don't win the tournament. You can still place, maybe you do well, but if you do not get fortune as a thing, you're just done.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So that's 2 guys that were going. Then there was one more that I was thinking that I knew. A quick look down here. Right, okay. So then the other person that's going to be going that we kind of know, which is going to be Mr. Leon Boomstick. Now the thing is with Leon is I don't know what he's going to be taking. What I do know is he's taking Marines. And the reason that I know it is because he's all into Forge World, and that's his thing that he wants to do. So he's going to be one guy to look out for to see what kind of weird ass list he decides.
He likes using weird shit, so yeah, I look forward to that.
So right, let's move on to what we're taking. So the last tournament you went to was Death or Glory.
That's it. Yep.
It was 1815. It was a Farsight bomb. Things have changed because the old bomb is gone. But we're at 1500 points. What are you thinking?
Well, I tried to make up the Farsight bomb lists, but at 1500 points, I was going to put Tiggy in there rather than a librarian and try and sort of work it out that way. But at 1500 points, it's just not enough points to put a Farsight bomb in because you just end up with no points for anything else. Really, in your army, you get very little points for troops. No, I mean anything else. And the Farsight bomb's good, but it can't just kill everything on its own. It almost can, almost can, but it can't actually kill everything on its own. And if you start dropping troops off in order to try and fit it in, then it's easy enough to deal with your army because all you do is kill the troops, obviously, and you get no way of sort of keeping them off and things, So I went for something a bit more moderate, this time because I couldn't go for the sort of extreme of the Farsight bomber.
Moderate.
Well.
You went for something more moderate.
Oh, that's
Tell us about your conservative list, man.
Oh, so what I've gone for is material, because that's standard to take material.
I call that middle of the line, not moderate.
Because they're pretty useful in most lists. Most kind of balanced armies are pretty useful. Yeah. And I went for the drone commander, that I used to take.
Many are still taking that. Yeah.
The drone commander, the 2 up
He's
save.
very dirty. Yeah. But many are taking that in your moderate list.
2 up save and the 6 drones. You get 6 marker drones. And then what I went for my troops choice, I went for a bit of durability and a bit of manoeuvrability. So I went for 2 units of 6 fire warriors and devilfish. And I've given the devilfish disruption pods so they can move and get a 3 up save.
And many people don't like the devilfish.
But I'm just trying something a bit more balanced, moderate. Just sort of experiment with this.
Well, you've done well so far.
Yeah, and then I went for 2 units of Crook because Crook are always useful.
Yeah, and they can infiltrate.
They can infiltrate. And that can be powerful.
Powerful.
You can stop that scout move from getting killed. And then what I've done with the heavy support section, I just went for 9 broadsides.
So let's talk about, yours is like a retro towel list. So 4 months ago, this was very popular. Everybody taking it. And in fact, there's a guy called Greg Mountford who came third at Warlords GT, and he had
very similar list. That's right. Yeah.
But you're not very creative. So you thought, I'll take 9 broadsides.
But the thing is, I haven't given them intercepts. I've given them precision shot this time.
So what made you go for a precision shot?
Because what I figured was that grab weapons are less effective against broadsides than against riptides.
Mm-hmm.
If I can stop the scout move of like bikers, if there's any of those bike armies about, I'm sure there'll be grab weapons about in some way. As long as I can keep them away for a wee bit. My first ton of shooting, I should be able to, if I don't kill off squads completely, which is likely, let's face it, I'll be able to pick out things like grab weapons. You know.
So what you're hoping for is that you can nullify them, because they'll probably have the grab weapons nice and hidden, but you'll be able to pick them up.
Yeah, just pick all that stuff out. Yeah, and I've always liked the precision upgrade. It's cheap and it can be useful. I've always liked it, and I've never really used it. You know, I used it in a couple of games right at the beginning when I first got to, and it was handy. You know, but obviously intercept was more handy. And I thought, well, I'm trying, something new and something moderate. Yeah. So I'll give the precision shot a go as well, and it gives me some kind of defense against Screamer Council. It's not a good defense. It's not a solution to it. I wouldn't recommend it, but it gives me something against.
You shit my panties the other day when you told me that it can fucking instantly tap them.
I
was like, what the fucking hell? I fucking well, they are toughness 3.
But they get the plus 1.
Yeah. So I mean, because then what you made me do is I want to fucking have to ask Harry for this weekend, make sure that I fucking knew what was going on. Because I read it a million times, but sometimes when you read it to make it yourself, I can't understand how it'd be any other way.
Yeah.
And is it standard? And then I tried to figure out how it would be different for like a marine guy on a bike.
Yeah.
So when a marine guy gets a bike, how is it that he's getting it, and how is it when a?
I think the way I wasn't sure about it, but I think the way I was thinking was that the disc.
Have that one up on Facebook, mate. Let's have another.
All right. Well,
people will probably be in support of you at this time.
The thing is, I think it's been a debate at some point, and the way I was thinking was, it's one of two ways. Either when he gets a disc, he's considered being mounted on a jet bike and then gets the plus 1 toughness as well as the other upgrades to his stats, or when he gets a disc, it gets considered he's now described as jet bike infantry, like a screamer. So he doesn't get the plus 1 toughness, but now he's jet bike infantry. So that was I wasn't sure what way it was. That was the thing, because if he takes the disc and the disc isn't a jet bike, if it just upgrades him to jet bike, or like to jet bike.
But because it says it does, that's why.
Yeah, I think I'm not. See, that's why I'm not entirely sure. If the disc counts as a jet bike, obviously no argument. But if it's not a jet bike, if it just changes his type to jet bike from infantry, then it doesn't.
But jet bike is a rule now, where it gives you plus 1. It gives you plus 1 toughness.
And then there's an argument for screamers getting a plus 1 toughness.
No, because it says, because in the jet bike ruling, I checked this one too.
Right.
It said unless it's already included in your profile,
right? Okay.
And because it's already in their profile, they've already got the plus 1. That's why they take this forward.
That's still obviously.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's
still something. It's still something.
Well, what you were saying to me, you were saying that if I was to assault my screamers into you, it would actually be worse for me at that point.
Than if I was just shooting you normally.
Because you're only hitting on 6s and you're re-rolling everything to get the 6.
That's it.
And every single one of them are precision straight on the grimoire. So that's bad.
That's right. Yeah. So at that point there's a chance where I can resist. I can't resist the charge, but as you come in, at least kill that dude. So now the next turn I get you. Yeah. And it's not a defense I would recommend against screamers, but it's at least something, because at 1,500 points I couldn't fit anything else in. It's a defense.
So is your thought now going into this tournament is that not really at 1,500 points? There's very few things that can just cope with 9 broadsides.
Yeah, very few things that can cope with that firepower. I mean, unless I bump up against like AB14 or something, but obviously that's rare. That wouldn't likely that happen, So.
Well, it can happen. I mean, I know Gaz Donnelly's taking. He said on the GT that he's taking his 4 battle wagons.
Well, I don't want to bump up against him.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously it can happen. But AB14 hasn't been around for a while. But maybe the Marines will bring it back. So I've got no solution to AB14. I've got nothing in my army.
There's nothing that you can do.
I don't have a single metal gun, anything. So it's literally it's an immune vehicle if it's AB14. My army can't hurt it.
So there's nothing.
I have no solution to it. Nothing. I just have to kill everything else.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's bad news.
Well, if someone's transporting in a Land Raider, you're fucked then.
Yeah, if somebody brings a Land Raider and just gets something nasty in it, then.
But if they're going to start to assault you, then they're getting fucked.
Well, I'm not scared of the assault move, but I mean, I'm not that scared of the Land Raider, to be honest. Because even like.
Yeah, but it's what's in the Land Raider.
It's what's in the Land Raider.
And the land ready is not exactly nice. I mean, if
No,
it's
it's
got
not
like,
nice, but it's not horrific. It is, you know what I mean. If it's the Godhammer one with like one of the last cannons, then it's, you know, it can tick away at my broadsides or whatever. But if it's like a Redeemer, then I don't care about the flamers. And it's the fact that it can be in amongst my army, or, you know. But I mean, I'll deal with it when it comes to it. You know, as I'll just deal with it when it comes to it. But it's, you know, I've not come across AV14 in best part of a year, so hopefully I won't this time.
okay. And then the devilfish, because that you don't see them in every
Yeah,
town. That
yeah.
bit is creative.
Yeah, well, because like obviously I've only got 4 troops.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a choice between like not taking the devilfish and having more troops, but I'm not reaching out at any point in with these things, or taking the devilfish and really protecting the shit out of my troops, because they're one of the toughest things in my army. A lot, even with my broadsides, because they boom and get a 3-up cover save. You know, and the AV12, and I put them in reserve. They come on late and all that stuff, and it gives my troops that 18-inch move in the first turn that they come in, so they can reach out and get objectives on the midway point, as opposed to if I put something in the halfway mark and I set up like Dawn of War, then if someone's put something in the middle of the board, my cook can't get it from coming in the outflank, and the fire warriors are never going to run 24 inches. You know, they're just going to get shot to pieces. But in a devilfish, you can quite happily scoot over there and hang around the rest of the game. You know, and then get out turn 5 and survive. So
I think it's a bit like with Tau, with pure Tau. I'm starting to think about them the way I thought about them in 5th, about their troops being like shit, but not shit as in like fire warriors can fire nasty at short range, especially combined with the ethereal, especially combined with other units of the same type and buddies. They are really nasty.
Yeah.
Crew are brilliant. They can infiltrate. Cheap as
well. Shots.
Yeah. But they are easy to dispatch.
Yeah, easy to kill.
And the issue is when you've got pure Tau is that you haven't got jet bikes running all over the place. You haven't got marines. You haven't got anything. Going back to it, mate. So what's happening? Back on it.
Just a wee bite.
All right, mate. And look at that cheese on it as well. You were telling me, what do you reckon that is? 500 calories?
Yeah.
That's 500 calories in your world, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not 800?
No.
500?
Mm-hmm.
Dove 2 burgers in there, is it? Is that a Whopper or whatever it's called?
2. Mm-hmm.
Is it a Whopper?
It's called a Big Mac, mate.
Big Mac. What's Whopper? Burger King in it?
Box is right here, dude. Box is right here, mate.
I get confused with all the branding.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
But what I was going to say was, by putting it in the devilfish, what's kind of clever about that is that because we know that, I mean, it's okay, it's only 5 games this weekend, so 4 out of the 5. In other tournaments, 5 out of the 6 are going to be mission based, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So okay.
So it's got good ability to capture objectives because the troops are quite safe. It's got a horrific amount of firepower, obviously, as long as I can manoeuvre it into position. It's quite tough, and at 1,500 points, nothing can charge it.
Yeah.
Because at 1,500 points, apart from a screamer person, good.
Oh,
your phone going off again, mate?
Rob Madeley, if anyone can see that.
No,
I don't have a picture for Rob.
I
can't even imagine why he's calling me now.
Oh, you just do your default when you get a phone call, mate, and ignore it.
There we go.
That's not just you, Rob.
Back, Rob.
No, that's not just you. That's everybody. Mate.
And it was BJ everybody. And my girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the list I'm taking, and I'm hoping it does okay. It does okay.
Surprise, surprise! I'm gonna take Screamer Council.
The Honka.
But
it's only 1,500 points.
It's a big moment for me. This. There's going to be no Imperial Guard.
Oh, what are you going to do with your vendettas?
Dude, I tried every way to get them in. Like, every way. Because we're moving from what would be... So at 1650, I had 2 vendettas, company command and veterans in there at 1650. But I had sort of just 2 troop units and horrors. And now we've got to get down. And I had this big question mark. Do I take 3 heralds or do I take 4 heralds? I know, for instance, So
you'll get that in a minute,
mate, he's left a message. That must be important. We'll have to wrap this up. I didn't know whether to take 3 or 4. Now, Adam Ryland, who we know best demon player in the country, is taking 3 this weekend. But I just couldn't. The more I thought about it, but by taking 3, I could maybe squeeze in. I couldn't quite squeeze in vendettas even then.
Yes, man. What you need to factor in is that Adam's a very good player. You're not.
Well, I factored that in.
So, like, you know, he'll be able to like shore up the difference, or perhaps not getting the powers he wants. You can't.
That's very true.
Yeah, and Adam, you know, he's also not a coward. You know, and that is your default. So.
And it is my default, which is why I've gone for 4 heralds.
Of course you have.
Of
course you have. Yeah.
I've kept the same size Screamer Council as I did at 1850 for 1500 points. But by doing it, it means there's no room for guard. It leaves me massively weak. So I'm going for a full pack Screamer Council. So that's the normal level 3, another level 3 with Conjuration, the low-key Conjuration, which is strength 6 for fire and stuff.
That's 6, Joe. I'll be expecting your donation soon.
That's it. Have you got another one?
No.
Are we done now, are we?
I maybe could squeeze another one, but I'd start to hurt at this point.
Mate, your ass is going to be horrendous.
It's already leaking something nasty out.
You are now. Anywho. Now, what was I talking about?
Screamers?
Screamers. Yeah, so big pack, Loki guy. Then I've got 2 exalted level 3s. Obviously, most of the time, one of them is the Portal Potty.
Yep.
And the other one is going to be Grimoire. 9 Screamers. Then I've gone for Fatey, obviously, to go with them. And then literally just 4 units of 11 horrors. Reason 11 is that once you go past the 10, you get 3d6 for Flickering Fire rather than the 2d6.
Yep, cool. Yep.
And then I've gone for a little something extra to try. I can't remember what they're called, but there's like captains in the...
Iridescent horrors.
Is that what they're called?
I think so, yeah.
So then, I've gone for them. The reason I've gone for it is because if I do fuck up on the table at all, even with Fate's reroll, but mainly because I can put Precision Shot. I don't know how much I'm going to use them. I don't know whether they're any good. I started to, I could have just put in an extra horror if I'd have wanted to at that point.
Yeah.
And had 12 in a unit, and maybe 12's optimal because that means you could probably drop down in terrain, risk losing one guy. Now you're in terrain and get to shoot. So 12 would probably be it, but I ain't got 12. The weakness, I think, there are a couple of weaknesses. I've got nothing to crack open. Like Land Raiders would be an issue for me because
well, you've got. I mean, Screamers.
Well, Screamers they can, but while they're doing that, really they're good for infantry, and they're not guaranteed. They're strength 5, 2d6.
Yeah.
Hitting on 3's probably got prescience. 8.
Like say 8 hits, and then you're looking for 9s to get a glance.
To get a glance. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's difficult. I mean, I don't know what it is to get a 10 or more, but I know to get an 11 or more, it's a 1 in 8 shot. So you should get at least 1 10, probably. I mean, I don't know what the odds are. I know it's 1 in 8 is to get an 11 or more and 2d6, and you only need a 10. Yeah. So to get a penetration, so you should get 1 or 2. Yeah.
And the thing is, you can't even say that there's not high armor about. There is, but I don't know what's about at 1500. I just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's it.
So mainly my plan is going to be that instead of normally I half act between half cowardly to half smash face. I'm pretty much going to revert to cowardly.
I thought you kind of the zone you hit was between half cowardly and full cowardly. Is that the zone you're going last time?
All you got to remember that is when you've got a Screamer Council.
Mate, when you've got to up your own vulnerable save.
The most broken one thing in the game.
You're never quite safe. Never quite safe enough.
I like to bully people, so I like to know that the Screamer Council's safe, but there's just this one little bit over here that I can bully. So that's what I'm going for.
You're the kind of guy that lets you take a Screamer Council and go and kill those grots over there.
I can take them out.
Yeah.
I won't even bother going out. I'll just shoot them. Now so there's a couple, and then the other issue is that I just don't think I can there's certain combinations like Dan's list. Maybe in kill points, and if he doesn't get fortune, I've got him.
Yeah.
I've got him because if he's got 2 Wraith Knights still, I don't know how he's sticking all that in, but if he's got 2 Wraith Knights, then I'm still in the shit then because I can't really deal with 2 Wraith Knights because I rely on my vendettas.
Well, the Beast Pack can pin you down, and the Wraith Knights can get there. And the Beast Pack can then hit and run out until the rest of your army.
Yeah. And there is going to be Wraith Knights because people aren't really dropping them out. They can't be painting up other stuff, and we don't even know how many grab weapons we're going to be seeing and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to be about.
Because you were kind of hoping that grab weapons get rid of Wraith Knights.
Well, they might, but I think more likely they're going to knock Riptides on the head a little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe not so much Wraith Knights. Maybe not so much, but it just depends. So that's pretty much it. I think if we were to say who are we going to pick to win this thing, who is it that we think is favourite to win? Who do you reckon?
Well, I'm going to go with a bit of consistency, and will be perhaps one of the most experienced players with his list there at the weekend. I'm going to go for Dan Saka. Yeah, he's been doing consistently well every tournament he's entered.
Yeah.
You know, he's always been top 5. He's won a couple, and he's lost very few games. And when he does lose a game, it's because he didn't get fortune, more or less. So you know, I'm going to bank on him getting fortune the whole weekend and taking the tournament.
Well, even if he doesn't get fortune,
no, it's still obviously it's still a really powerful list if he doesn't. But in the games where he doesn't get fortune, those are the only ones that he's lost. Really, I think. You know, I don't know if he's lost a game without not getting fortune.
Well, he was at the GT last weekend, and he comes second, and I think he didn't get fortune for 2 of his games, and still comes second.
Yeah. So that I mean that itself speaks volumes, obviously. So if he gets the same kind of lists together, if it's got the beast pack and 2 Wraith Knights in it, then I don't see how people are stopping that really at 1,500 points.
Fortune, no fortune.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. I think it's who I would pick too, just because he's just on form at the moment, isn't he? Because of that and the mix of the list.
He knows it so well. He knows the ins and outs of it so well. He's very experienced. I played that very list at tournaments. Everybody else will be turning up with a 1,500 point list. It will be, you know, usually a lot different from their 1850 list, not just a scaled down version. Because it's difficult to scale down some 1850 armies. Usually, you need I couldn't scale down the Farsight bomb, so I had to redesign a list from the ground up. You know, and as much as you say, like, I mean, 9 broadsides obviously isn't that imaginative, you know, but the list itself, like the troops and things like that, are different.
Don't give me. I was agonising.
Well, it kind of was. It kind of was.
Do I take 9 or 8 broadsides?
Well, mate, there's only 5 missile drones.
Only I could take 10 broadsides.
Well, but the thing is, it's a list that I feel out of water with, because 9 broadsides isn't the solution to everything. You know, they really aren't the solution to everything. They're powerful against most stuff, but they're not the solution to everything. You know, so I'm missing stuff from my army that, I mean, I have no real solution to Streamer Council. My solution to Streamer Council is I'm going to try and snipe you out, you know, and try and kill, and that's difficult to do. So I'm not used to playing a TOW list that has no solution to Streamer Council recently. Any TOW list I've played recently has had a solution to it. You know, and it's the first time I've not got nothing.
You had the solution to it before.
That's it. That's right. And now I've not got that. You know, and I think if you want to be the top tables, you have to expect to run into Screamer Council. You know, and you have to have a solution to it. And I don't.
Well, this would be the tournament.
I'm a bit of a fish out of water. Whereas Dan would be different. If he's got that same kind of army, he's got a solution to that. And he's got a solution to everything else, really. So I reckon he's on target for it.
This is the tournament we're going to see this Screamer Council, but I think this is also the tournament people are going to realise is very difficult to play with. You know, very early on. I think I was saying this to you the other day about, you know, the first 6 games that I played with the Screamer Council, I got blitzed because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. You know, I would sometimes, I know this is unforgivable, but I'd forget to roll the Grimoire. I would move the unit, move some other shit, then go, all right, Grimoire. Fuck, I failed it, and now I'm right in front of the army. They were the early days. That was really bad. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you can see people with Screamer Council doing that. You know, quite often you can see people with Screamer Council. It's like
so much to remember.
I think by default with the Screamer Council you'll be really overly aggressive, and that'll be your default, just aggressive. And then if you're good with it, you'll be setting up for the cowardly run. If your Grimoire fails in your run. Whereas I think the advantage that you've got over other Screamer players is you are by default not aggressive. You are by default cowardly. So you're almost every turn setting yourself up for the Grimoire success. You know, like you're not expecting the Grimoire to be successful. You're just like, if it's successful, you don't have to be cowardly this turn. You know, whereas everybody else is like they're sort of expecting it to be successful and, you know, regretting the fact they have to be cowardly at some point and perhaps even setting themselves up for it.
Dude, the whole time I'm thinking about what's going to happen if it fails.
Yeah,
that's all I ever think of.
I mean, that is your default.
And make sure I also want to make sure that I'm not. I always try to make sure that I'm not in a position where I'm going to get totally and utterly drilled.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't help it, but I don't like to be.
Whereas a lot of people, I think, will just throw it forwards and go, "I'll just multi-charge the whole army."
Well, but those are the guys that are they're tabling people, you see, and that's why they'll get more. They'll get much more points.
They'll get more points, but in that game where the Grimoire fails in front of the guy's entire army, that's the game they lose. Yeah, that's it.
Right, okay, what have we been going on here for 57 fucking minutes? So so if people are on audio and they want to just listen to this or come back and watch this shit, then they can
on
do.
YouTube, yeah.
What's it on? 40k?
Yeah, 40k global on YouTube.
Right, okay, and then
you can see me in 6. All right, well,
is that the door?
My girl's supposed to be coming by. She's a bit early.
Oh, hey, Rachel.
Hello.
Hello, Rachel. Come on in here. Who do you think's been having them? Who do you think's been having them Big Macs?
Dave, mate, it's.
Now, what Franco's going to try and make this look like is that there's just one Big Mac, but there was actually 6 Big Macs.
No, that baby. No, it's not.
We've eaten 6 Big Macs.
No.
Again.
Again.
This
is meant to be a one-off.
No, I told you I was going to start losing weight. No.
It's like she's caught you with another woman.
You've eaten 6 Big Macs.
No.
It's like
I've warned you about this.
It's like you've been cheating on her.
Darling, that's.
No, that's it. Had enough.
Oh dear, fat boy. It's just a big mess of where you are. Just leave me, Franco. I'll just stand here with it. Okay, now what a pathetic twat. Right, so if you are watching this on video and then you want to go through the rest of this show, what you need to go to is episode 97, which would be the Battlefield Birmingham special.
That's it. Not 5 Big Macs, but 6, because I really am a disgusting pig, and now probably a single disgusting pig. The full episode will be out on Monday, and you'll be able to get the rest of the battle report then. We hope to get new videos out every Thursday, and if you do fancy donating as a result of being disgusted or impressed in equal measures by this video, then get us on www.40kglobal.com and hit the donate button. Thanks very much for watching. It's been a long one. Goodbye.